Let's go ahead and have a little taste here and see what we got. Like I said, you can basically cut it with a fork. Get a little bit of the rice, get a little bit of the gravy. That is very good. And don't trim none of the fat off of it too. That just makes it even better. So the first thing we want to do is make sure you got the beef meat dried off real well. And then we're going to go ahead and cut it in some pretty good sized cubes. I mean, you don't want it to be too small, but something like that, you know, 1 inch, 2 inches or so. And leave the fat on it. That'll just make it taste a little bit better as it's cooking. And once you get that done, I got a little olive oil in the pot here, about a teaspoon. And we're going to go ahead and add the beef to it. And we're going to cook this basically until it gets a nice little brown on it. I'd say probably 10 to 15 minutes. Then once you got it where you want it, you know, nice and brown, go ahead and add the onion, bell pepper, and garlic. And just saute this for probably around 15 minutes. And you'll see once it's where I got it done at how it's supposed to look. But you basically want everything to kind of come together. Like I said, just cook it on low. Just keep turning it, and eventually the onions will start wilting, and everything will kind of become one. And once you get your onions and bell pepper and garlic nice and sauteed down with the beef meat, I'm gonna go ahead and make a roux. Not make a roux. I already got the roux made, but I had 2 cups of water. I probably add more water. Just want to get started with that. Here's a little bit of roux. This is 1/4 cup. For that amount of meat, I think this will make a perfect gravy. And let's get that incorporated real well. I'm going to go ahead and add this is half a bay leaf. I think that'll be plenty. I'm going to add a little bit more, this is some garlic powder. Even though I added garlic, I always kind of add a little bit extra garlic powder to it. This is some paprika. Even though I got bell pepper, I always add a little extra. Just gives the gravy a little different color. About like that. I don't know, maybe a teaspoon or so. Got a little bit of cayenne pepper. Got to add a little bit of that to it. Give it a little heat. Maybe a 1/2 teaspoon. Some Slap Your Mama seasoning. See, I didn't really add any salt yet or anything to it, so I'm gonna this got salt in it, so maybe a teaspoon. And I'll check it a little later, see what else I need to add to it. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, that was 2 cups of water and 1/4 cup of roux. And that's it. Once it cooks down, I might have to add a little water as it cooks down. But I'm going to cook this until the beef is basically falling apart. I mean, you can cut it with a fork. So probably 1.5 hours to 2 hours, I'm guessing. And that's pretty much it. One way to finish just towards the end, if you wanted to, is you can, if you have some diced potatoes that was like pre-cooked, you can add them at the end. Carrots, mushrooms, you know, maybe the last 5 minutes of cooking, just kind of add them to it. To me, if you add it now, there's a good chance they might fall apart. Then they get in your gravy and it gets all jacked up. So, yeah. That's it. After 15-20 minutes, I'll taste it and see what else I got to add to it. So at this point, just go ahead and put it on a low flame and just cover it. And we'll just let that cook real slow. I say we've been cooking probably for about 1.5 hours. And, you know, it's basically, you can cut it with a spoon pretty much. You know, it's very tender. Pretty much just coming apart. So that's what you want it. This was I think it was a round steak, so it's definitely a tougher part of the cow. But comes out real good when you cook it. Cook it a long time in a nice thick gravy. You know, it Basically just come to port. So to finish it, I got some green onion tops. Add a pretty good handful. And just stir that around, and we'll cook it for about another maybe 2 minutes. Those are frozen green onion tops. I always keep a bag in the freezer. And not even really 2 minutes. I mean, just as long as they, you know, the last minute or so. That's all you got to do. And I'm gonna have this over some white rice. And I had some canned carrots that I actually sauteed in a little bit of olive oil, and I sprinkled very lightly a little bit of flour, that way they can get a nice brown on them. And I'm gonna just have that as a side dish. So there you go, beef stew. Basically 3 ingredients: garlic, onion, bell pepper, and 1 bay leaf. And cook time, you know, depending on how tough the meat is, just cook it till it gets tender. 1 to 2 hours or so. And make sure you brown your meat and your onions real good. And I did add water as I was cooking this. So, and to serve it, let's get you some gravy, some beef meat. Got a bay leaf in here somewhere. Guess I'll find it eventually. Something like that. Nice big bowl of stew. Here's my carrots that I cooked a little earlier. I browned them. I just added a little bit of butter to the pan just to reheat everything up. And that'll be my carrots. Got that as my little side dish. Those are canned carrots. Like I said, I just browned them in a little bit of butter. I don't know about y'all, but that looks like a pretty good little meal right there. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Thanks.